Welcome back to my channel for this week's Human Design Transit Report. I always recommend that you have a copy of your own chart so that you can take a look at the information I'm going to present here today, and then you can apply it to your own chart. It's really important for you to take what you learn and apply it. Otherwise, it's just more information. And the last thing we need in this world is more information. Today is Monday, August 23rd, and the Sun moves into the gate 29, and the Earth moves into the gate 55. Interestingly enough, these are located on the same centers that we had last week. The 59 is on the Sacral center, and the 55 is on the emotional solar plexus. So we have a similar theme in terms of having two motors, the gates on two motors that are activated this coming week. The energy on the motors is always powerful because that's what they are. They're motors, they're engines, they're power in the chart. The sacral, where the 59 is the center for life force energy. It's the most powerful engine in the chart. The emotional solar plexus, where the 55 is located, is emotional energy. It's not so much what we think of as feelings, so much as the power that we feel behind our emotions. Both of these energies can be huge allies for you when you grab a hold of them and harness them and then direct them where you will. The gate 59 is part of the tribal circuit. The subcircuit of the tribal circuit is the defense circuit, also known in quantum human design as the nurture circuit. The defense circuit is small. It just has two channels on either side of the sacral, and it connects to the spleen and to the emotional solar plexus. This is the family part of the tribal circuit. This is where we have the energy for creating children, for taking care of children, for bringing up kids into the tribe so that they know who we are, we know what makes us be a people, and so on. The 59 in traditional human design is known as sexuality, and in quantum human design is known as sustainability. I think that's a really interesting evolution of this energy. So sexuality is a very powerful energy. It is super nourishing for all of us, our vital sexual energy. And to call it sustainability is curious, right? It's like, how do we make this energy sustainable over time? Because a lot of times we don't think of sexuality as being sustainable energy so much as it comes and it goes, and it comes and it goes, and it comes and it goes. So how do we take this primary life force energy and have it be really sustainable? This part of the tribal circuit is about caring for children and taking care of children and making sure that they have the resources and that they care as they grow up. The defense circuit has what's known as aura busting qualities, which means that this energy is really potent and it will penetrate into the auras of other people. The sun transiting the 59, it means everybody is going to be expressing this energy this week. So pay attention to how you might feel when you come into the sphere of other people. If you do feel some energy coming towards you, hopefully it'll feel good to you, whether that's sexual energy or it's just life force energy, it's sustainable energy. But notice if it feels like it's coming closer than usual, or if other people are responding to you as if your energy is coming closer to them. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just good for us to be aware of it, because actually the aura busting quality can be quite pleasurable when it feels good to us, when the energy is a benevolent energy, when it's not icky, it's not an icky sexuality, but it's just a beautiful, pure life force energy. The shadow aspect of this 59 could be where somebody is using sexual energy in order to try to gain control or to gain power or to manipulate so that they can feel more safe. You probably have experienced this from someone in your life. So that's kind of the shadow aspect. It's when you're using this power of life force energy in order to gain control based on an underlying fear that you have. The disempowered aspect is if you are either submitting to somebody else's powerful energy, or if you're giving away your power and you are trying to placate others with your sexuality. So those are good things to watch out for yourself, and to see if you have this colored in your chart, then you already have a pretty consistent way of experiencing this. And if you recognize that you have been expressing it in a way that you don't 100% agree with, you're going to have the opportunity to really change it. And if it is white on your chart, so it's not colored in, you don't have it defined, then you're going to feel it strongly during this time. And you'll have the opportunity to really work to express this in its highest state, its most awakened state, where it's this pure life force energy, and it may express itself as sexuality, and it may express itself as other ways of being in a family or being in a community and providing for others and interacting with others. And you can use it to take a look at, how is my life sustainable? Is it sustainable? Are there ways in which it's not sustainable? How can I make my life more sustainable? How can I make sure to be using my energy in ways that I know are really going to work for me and that I can have over a long period of time? Now, I just released a video yesterday that had to do with sacral power and sacral authority, and you can find it here if you want to dive into that in a little bit more detail. The 55, on the other hand, is on the emotional solar plexus, so it is emotional energy. In traditional human design, it's known as spirit, and in quantum human design, it's known as faith. You can see how closely connected these two are. And this is the emotional energy of faith, of really having the inner experience of knowing that you have what you need, you're going to have what you need going into the future, that you're provided for, whether that's coming from the cosmos or it's coming from people in your life or it's coming through activities that you're engaged in. But it's this kind of deep sense of faith, this connection to spirit, if you will, that helps you to know that everything's all right and that you're always going to have what you need. And that's what you want to get emotionally involved in, is that feeling of inner safety, of your place in the cosmos, and knowing that as such, that you're always going to be able to tap into the larger cosmic field or the quantum field. And out of that quantum field, you're going to be able to crystallize things into form, which is what you need in your life. Now, in its shadow state, this energy of faith could be using that faith against others, again, having a sense of maybe being a little holier than thou, that you know the answer because you are tapped in, that your faith is the real faith, and that other people need to understand what's true from you because you're tapped into spirit, and so you understand where maybe other people don't. Unfortunately, this energy has been a little too predominant in many formal religions, obviously not everyone, but the shadow can show up there as well. So that's one place that you can think about that. Now, the disempowered aspect is when you give away your power to others and you believe that they are somehow tapped in to God, Goddess, all that is, to spirit, to source energy, and that you are not. And so then you are going to follow them. And this is, in its worst situation, is it's the stuff of cults, right? Where there's a charismatic cult leader who is using the shadow aspect of the 55 to manipulate people who are in the disempowered aspects of the 55. So again, you want to look out for that for yourself during this week. If it's colored in on your chart, you have a relatively consistent, even fixed way of experiencing this energy. So check it out for yourself. Do you have a strong sense of faith for yourself, or do you assert it onto other people, or do you feel like you have to go outside of yourself for really spiritual guidance? Interestingly, the 55 is part of the knowing circuit, which is an individual circuitry. And the knowing circuit is plugged through the 61 directly into superconsciousness. And so the energy of the knowing circuit is definitely one that authorizes you to have your own mystical relationship with source or with spirit or with the universe. And so I would really encourage you, if you haven't felt so empowered around this, that you can take this week to be tapping into your own inner knowing and to believe, really cultivate your faith that you do have access to spiritual guidance. Now you can see that with the earth in the 55, that would be your foundation this week, right? You'd be grounded in your faith. so that you can be providing for your family and for the people in your community. And you can see if you're in the disempowered aspect of the 55, so you don't feel like you have that foundation of your connection to spirit and the abundance and the prosperity that naturally comes through our connection to spirit, that you could be worried about your family. You could be worried if they're going to have everything that they need. You could be worried about your tribe or your community and if you're going to get through that. And with everything that's happening in the world right now, you know, it would be understandable if you're feeling a little tweaked like that way. So I want to just support you to know that you do have the inner capacity and the inner power to decide how you're going to experience and express these energies. And the more that you build your faith in your relationship to spirit and to source, the more that you believe that abundance and prosperity is your birthright, not necessarily greed or hoarding or overaccumulation. I'm not talking about any of those things. I'm just talking about this sense that you are going to have what you need when you need it. The more that you can build that, the more you're going to be sustainable in your ability to both have your own life force energy and also to be able to use your life force energy for the benefit of the people in your life. So I encourage you to practice the awakened highest aspect of both the gate 59 and the gate 55, because when you put those together, it could really support you through the challenges that we've got in the world right now, whether that has to do with COVID and the Delta variant, or it has to do with earth disasters that are happening, or, you know, there's so many things. So just know that you do have the power to create a stronger foundation for yourself. Now, on this coming Sunday, on August 29th, the sun and the earth are going to move again, and I will on Monday have a new transit report for you. Because in the meantime, this is how you want to find out what's happening. Transits work. You can go back to my episode 7. In episode 7, the earth was in the gate 40 and the sun was in the gate 37. Well, now it's going to be exactly the reverse because we're on the opposite side of the human design mandala. Now we're going to have the sun in gate 40 and the earth in gate 37. So if you go and you watch my episode 7, you'll get a sense of the different energies of the gate 40 and the gate 37, but they'll be flipped in terms of whether the sun is lighting it up or the earth is lighting it up. But still, it could be a resource for you if you don't want to wait until Monday morning when I release my next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, I hope you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That really does help me to keep creating this free content for you, and share it with your friends. Many blessings, much love. Bye for now.